there were some vendors that said if the producer signed on that they would take care of repairs that the biodiesel caused, then they would use anything they wanted, but that didn't seem to come to pass.
Yeah, if you fix it first, there's no repairs afterwards.
Hi, I think there's, I mean, I do think there is an issue of sort of this, you know, of the more we use it, the more comfortable we get with it. We have to dispel some of the myths and the fear of using it, and you know, and keep experimenting with it.
Thank you. Yes, right here. Oh, Eva.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I just grabbed the mic.
Go for it, Eva.
Meredith?
Meredith.
Just as a response to the B20, some of the research that we've shown is that many of the engine manufacturers only guarantee up to a B20 blend for biodiesel when they manufacture their engines. So I think that the people who own these very expensive machines only really go by what the machine's manufacturer will cover. So, you know, anything above that, it's a scarier prospect when your manufacturer won't cover that. And I
You
think,
mean the warranty?
Yeah. So when most of the engine manufacturers have agreed, I think B20 is the highest blend that they will guarantee up to at this point. Then the vendors feel comfortable. Anything above that, I think there's some trepidation.
Eva.
But it's not about biodiesel.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'd like to talk about
I have
something
two
new.
quick questions. So one's for Robert and one's for Tom. Robert, where can we rent these LED systems with the? Does every lighting house, Griffin lighting house, have it? And Tom, what? Oh, yeah.
Okay. Most of the theatrical vendors would have LED units like PRG, C-Factor.
Mostly theatrical, but not like
right.
film-oriented like G&E.
But now there are CSC and features. Some of them are now starting to put them into their inventory because ARRI is working on their own LED lighting systems.
Gotcha.
And they're right now there's a manufacturer, Gecko Lighting, which is now looking to make a series of LED lighting units that can be specifically used for the motion picture business. And I think Brian Edwards is here from PRG.
And there's somebody here from Gecko as well.
And from, right, from Gecko.
Yeah.
Great. And CSC, awesome. And I have a really short question for Tom. What's the best way to ask a Teamster to stop idling? What's the nicest, greatest way to go, excuse me, sir, could you please stop that?
Well, I don't know if there's any best way.
Give him a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
Should I, like, you know, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's. I think everybody has to use their own approach.
I usually ask somebody like him to ask that question.
Yeah, if you talk to the captain, you might get some response.
Yeah. Dana, yes, what's up?
Will you repeat the question when
I will.
There's actually a question. Does anyone in New York, and Tom and Bobby, this will be for you, could you have experiences with solar solutions for set power? Have you got anybody done solar?
No, I have no experience with that.
I think one of the vendors has solar panels on his trucks. They recently started putting solar on the tops of some of the lightning trucks, and they're running lights. I haven't worked with it. I talked to one of the yard bosses down there to find out what they were doing, and he told me that they don't run the air conditioners. There's not enough power, but they do run the interior lights, and that's pretty much what they do.
It's just a start. What
Yeah.
they're doing. What
Yeah.
lighting can do.
Yeah.
And Tony Argento at Broadway Stages. Tony Argento at Broadway Stages is actually installing solar panels in his facility to try to use it and see how far it goes. So it's, you know, gradually, like the comment with the B100 and all that stuff, it's all going to come to task. You know, it's all going to come to fruition if we keep working at it. We can't go to 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. You know, starting with B20 is great and working with those issues, and it's just got to, you know, slow steps. You can't just tell everybody that everything's got to change today. And I think that's what we're doing here, and it's working terrifically.
Yeah. Good. All right, sorry, Dana, I messed up on that question. Give me another chance.
No, that's okay. Is there anyone from the audience?
Oh, other questions in the audience?
Dana, what about the question that Kim brought in from LA about sustainability accreditation? Oh, it's a great question. Kim.
Kim has a question.
We're making it interactive.
Kim would like to know if we think that one day we will see a required accreditation for sustainability in films, and if so, who should oversee that?
All right, so Kim would like to know, do we think one day there will be a required accreditation for greenness of films, and who do we think should oversee that? You should. Yeah, like a green seal of some kind. Well, looking at the 16 organic product labeling systems that are not actually working, I don't know what we should be doing. We should be looking at the beyond the beyond. I'm going to toss this to you, Mary Jo.
I think what's really hard about accreditation is that every film is different, and every film is going to have a different footprint. And I think that we haven't quite cracked how to standardize a method of tracking. I mean, we are working on carbon calculators. Eventually, we will have access to a carbon calculator where you can track your carbon footprint. I think that there's been many conversations amongst the studios, the Environmental Media Association, the Producers Guild of wouldn't it be great if we could come up with a green seal. And I think that we're not there yet. I'm not sure. There's too many, because every movie is different and every studio has different mandates. I think it's a really tough nut to crack. I think on Away We Go, Universal started putting a message on the film saying this product, how does it go? It says this film sustainability strategies were utilized in the production of this motion picture to reduce its ecological footprint or something. Yeah. So I think that's where we're at now. It'd be great to see some standards. I think it's a really hard, it's complicated.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see the Producers Guild jump in,
Although we are, almost anybody who might do that would have a conflict of interest, especially the Environmental Media Association, who have the heads of the major movie studios on their board and who are their funders. So I think that would be hard. I mean, what we do at Green Media Solutions is we do an eco scorecard after every movie that we consult on, and it gives people a picture of how much they reduced their energy usage, their water usage, how much they diverted their waste. So they get a kind of a consistent picture of what they were able to achieve. But it's not anything that you could put into your credits. The studio legal department would go would just go crazy. So accreditation, I don't know. That's the next frontier. I wouldn't know. Has anybody else got an idea?